Hi there, my name is Susan Tribble, and this is
Robin Robinson.
We're here to bring to you some information on some of the legislative items that are on our ballot. We are concerned about some things and thought, well, wait, why not come on camera and talk to you guys about it and let you know what's going on. And in a way, it's like lifting the veil so that you guys can see the opposite or the opposing side to things, because really all we ever hear about is vote yes, vote yes, vote yes. And there's reasons why you say vote no. So that kind of leads me into my thing here, Robin. What do you think?
Well, should we just start with the first ballot initiative there?
Yeah, let's do it.
And on ours, it's A7, and she's going to scroll that up, and that is the Colorado Early Childhood Education District tax increase.
7A.
7A. And we looked into that because, it sounds very good to help young families get money for daycare. Sounds great. 15 pages, I believe. So we read through that a couple of times, and we're like, this is interesting. Ends up, not one family is going to get any of that money. Interesting. It is a 0.25 cent, 25 cents on $100, anything you buy in the county except diapers, feminine products, medicine, medical equipment, and I want to say there's one or two other things because they're already wound up in taxes in the state, like cigarettes maybe, or fuel. Don't quote me on those, but the others are ones you won't pay. So the same people that they're claiming they are helping get help for their child care are the same people going to pay the tax for it. I mean, if you want it, you might as well pay it out of your own budget. And
well, an interesting thing is okay, so they're talking about people from Parachute to Aspen. The people in Parachute, and what is it for working mothers, to get the working mothers back into the workforce?
0 to 5 years old, so 0 must mean in the womb, I guess, to 5 years old. They believe, we were there when this group proposed it at a library session.
Oh, a library session
Yes.
is connected to this, huh?
Interesting, yes, because of course they've been working with the library director and for many years trying to figure this out. And they believe that women who have children 0 to 5 in, it's Pitkin, Eagle, part of Eagle, which is the Basalt area, and Garfield County, that these mothers just need to be in the workforce, and so the rest of the county needs to, all the county needs to pay for this, all 3 counties that are involved in this districts. Their numbers are around 5,100 children from Parachute to Aspen. There's going to be 5 districts. 4,000 of the children are in districts 1 and 2. So 1,000 of the children are in districts 3, 4, and 5, roughly. There's slight changes in the boundary there. And isn't that interesting? These 5 district directors, 3 of them, who will overwhelm the 2 anytime, only have 1,000 of these children. And the 4,000 have way less representation. That should make you mad, parents. Then we looked a little further into it and found what this money is for is giving these tax dollars to facilities that provide the care.
Existing facilities.
Existing, and then we spoke to one of the proponents, Rob Stein, who was a former Roaring Fork School District superintendent principal, something, a few years back, who stepped down. And we spoke with him last week, and he was telling us a little bit about it. And I'm sorry, I clicked right out of that.
Well, I mean, we were talking to him, but he didn't really want to talk to us. He was trying to get away from us because we were just calling it out for what it really was. And I'm telling you, when you read these things, and, thank Robin, because honestly, you read these things, but you have to dissect them. We literally went line for line, and using their own words, we were able to come up with some of the astronomical things that they were looking at doing. And so what she was saying is they take it, they're going to take our tax dollars, and they want to provide to the existing companies, that the existing daycare facilities, so that they can expand. And when they say expand, they're talking expand in building, because right now, according to their own words, there's only 44% daycare facilities there's only enough daycare facilities in the valley to accommodate 44% of the children that need access.
According to them, that need access.
Yep. So that's what, 56 that need to, they have to accommodate for that. So that's 56%. They're going to have to build new buildings or add teachers, add salaries, add medical, because it also includes
Mental health.
Yeah.
0 to 5. I'm going to repeat that. And he did say when we spoke to him that they were trying to help in-home daycare people. But as we read through it, we realized what they're discussing is early mental health, 0 to 5 years old, healthcare nutrition program, and early educational services authorized by the board and permitted by state statute. And what we learned that means is this is the LGBT plus Q whatever thing that 0 to 5-year-olds these providers have to go by the standards of the state. With mental health, they will be able to come into your home. They want data. It says it in their papers, should you take the time to read it in the initiative. And in order to receive the benefits. So if you are someone and you want in-home daycare, but you don't want to teach all this stuff to children or feel like it's even your place taking care of a 0 to 5-year-old to teach them they could be trans or whatever it is, you have to do it or you will not get the money.
Or risk having them take the child from you.
Right. It's education utilizing current DEI standards, 0 to 5, please.
So some people say that the 0 is so that you can, it's for people that are pregnant and want to get into the daycare facility, so they go on a wait list. In some ways, it's exciting that they're considering a 0 in the womb a baby. So that's actually, pretty good.
Yeah. So somehow it always comes back to the sexualization and sex of children. It's weird because we read through it. The CMAS scores in your RE1 and RE2 are an example, and they're a failure, and these are the same people running this program.
So when you say example, are you saying like at the 24% or, I just heard the other day that 15% of the children in junior high are proficient in math.
Which means 75 aren't. 75% are not.
That would be 85.
Yeah, correct.
85%.
Yes.
So what's happening with the 85%? And then they tell you, well, I don't want to go down that rabbit trail. We'll get to that eventually.
Yes.
But it's about the school boards. And you guys, we've given them 4 years already. They need change. But anyways, back to 7A. Sorry.
Yes, back to 7A. And so we were looking at this. They have many of these programs already available in the county.
Yep, that's
so
true.
we were going, why do they need yet another one? And what you see is they say themselves that at this time they have no desire to raise the taxes, but inside its own initiative, those district directors will be able to make it a mill levy. Right now it's a sales tax because they know people are sick and tired of getting more property tax, and that's what a mill levy is on your property tax. So they're starting out, isn't this interesting, that they get to form a special district that forces the whole, 3 parts of 3 counties to pay this 0.25% on $100 sales tax. Think of what that does for a house or a car. They go, oh, well, it's just 25 cents on $100. Again, these are the supposedly poor people they're trying to help are going to take this burden. Then, at any time, they put quotes in with voter approval, they can turn it into a mill levy. So again, look at your taxes. You need to take time to look at your property tax and see how high these mill levies keep going. They're always trying to go around TABOR.
But the danger of the special taxing district is the other thing that was really alarming to us because of the dealings that we've had with other special taxing districts, which I won't go down that rabbit trail yet either. But that's why it's a concern, because they do, like Robin's saying, they can do whatever they want to do because they are a government entity unto itself, right?
They say, oh no, it has to be voter approved. Well, what do? Just what they're doing now. It's for the children. It's for the children. You're bad if you don't vote for it. But it's not. It goes to their administrators. It goes to their people in the Colorado state
Yeah, what's the percentage?
mental health,
Yeah.
because they are going to have to hire those people to make them comply with the regulations of the state.
Right.
For, I'm going to say it again, 0 to 5-year-olds mental health. My take on this is, and we have the list of the Aspen Foundation and all the school districts, because they never saw a tax
And it
they
was
didn't
what,
like.
Mountain Family Health.
Yeah, just all these places who want you to pay for their stuff. And I'm sorry, corruption enters into this stuff. They've been working since,
Oh.
they said 2017, so almost 10 years to take these taxes out of you. So they can just keep raising them, and they will. And again, it's about comply, comply, comply. My take on this is, as usual, Aspen and Eagle, Up Valley people, companies are, and some of them are huge companies, are always trying to lay the tax burden for the workers on the workers.
Right, which is a great segue to why don't they build them?
Why don't they do it? They have these huge philanthropic foundations.
Aspen
all this.
Ski Company.
That's right. 0 to 5
Aspen
years
Valley
old.
Hospital.
Why do they want your children at 0 to 5? And these people are like, they have to. Oh, your children are smarter. It's proven through research if they get this education. Aren't you going to give your kids that at home and teach them how to put down the little, size?
I mean, they
colors?
have stats that say that a child with their mother, the first 3-5 years is so important.
Oh, no, these people are telling us just the opposite.
Yeah,
Remember,
I know. That's
we
where
went
it gets
to-
confusing.
We went to a town hall kind of thing last week in Glenwood over this, and they were speaking on it, and they're making it sound like if you don't put your kid in this, they're going to be stupid if they stay home with you 0 to 5. And I am not kidding. You're like, you people are so condescending. And as Susan spoke, she went up and spoke to him afterwards, and I saw that and went over there, and that Rob Stein was out the door. He was like, if you want to walk out, I'm ready to leave. Well, I walked out a few minutes later, and he's out chatting on the sidewalk. I'm like, guess he didn't want to leave, but he just didn't want to have anybody say no.
I don't think they expected anyone to push back. And that's the thing. We really need to start standing up and saying our concerns, because they're not going to do it for us, you guys. And this is just 7A. I mean, we've got, what?
3 more, plus the 2 at the state.
Yeah, there's a lot to go through, and it's all about increasing debt or increasing our taxes.
There it is, right there.
Go for it.
So this is a list of district creation contributing members. Aspen Community Foundation, Aspen School District, Aspen One, City of Aspen, Kids First, Colorado River Valley Team, Compass for Lifelong Learning, Early Childhood Network, Garfield 16 School District, Garfield School District RE2, Great Expectation Family Visitor Program, Growth Early Childhood Behavior Coaching, MANA, so that was the name of that one. They folded right after this got put in.
Oh, Manaus.
Yes.
That's why I didn't understand it. It's Manaus.
I couldn't remember. Mountain Family Health Centers, Mountain Voices Project, Raising a Reader, Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Council, Roaring Fork School District, Valley Settlement, Yampa Mountain High School. Why can't these people get together and figure it out? But no, they each want their own foundation, their own administration, so they can get more money from you, pay themselves as administrators, and whoever they pick. And why can't they do it? That's a whole list of them.
I can't help but think, Robin, that their contributors, their donor contribution base has declined so much that they need to come to the taxpayer to fund it.
And they always do that. They
Yeah.
always do that. It's a big joke to them.
And we don't realize it. We think, like we said earlier, we all believe that we should have help for these working families that have to have 2 incomes. But, sometimes, like, I didn't work when I first had my kids because the income to daycare didn't really work out. And then I would bring them to work with me. And I don't know. And then thankfully, I had a best friend that would actually take my kids. But we all have to make sacrifices for something. And I know that sounds really harsh. And that's where she was saying in the beginning, I think you were saying it this time in the beginning about not going to restaurants and doing different things.
Right.
And sometimes we have to sacrifice.
Right. And this woman who was, I can't remember her name. What's her name that was with Rob Stein?
Oh, Margie.
And when she was first telling it, she was saying to the people in the room that she had to pay between 28 and 38. I'm kind of remembering those numbers per month for her children, and she had to scale back to 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week to have her children in daycare because she couldn't afford it because she lived in Basalt. And I thought, you know what? I couldn't afford to live in Carbondale. I had to move to Silt. Sorry.
Okay.
You got your $2 million house, but I have to pay taxes to let your kids go to daycare?
But here's the
These
thing.
people are absolutely oblivious to the rest of the world. My husband calls it the edge of non-reality because it's so close to Aspen. They literally think someone else should pay for it.
So here's the thing, okay, talking about numbers. So Rob Stein told us it was $17,000 annually to put your child in daycare. This bill, if they took all of the $12 million that they said that they would take, it would break down to $2,300 annually, give or take, right? $2,300 per family. Now, off of $17,000, you guys, that's not going to do anything, and there won't be money there because of the building of the expansion of the daycare facilities, adding the teachers' salaries. You know, they're going to have benefits. They're going to have housing. It just goes on and on, doesn't it?
And so the money's never going to get to the provider.
Correct.
Not the true.
Well, not to the
in-house
families.
Provider, the families.
It'll get to them.
It's going to get to the buildings and the building fund and the administration, and we're over it.
And that could be, so we say, you know, that's what, 1 year, and then after that it could go into more. But you guys, there's just never, there's no sunset on it.
There's none.
And there's no cap. And like Robin said, it bypasses TABOR because once it hits that 12 million, if it goes over and above the 12, they don't have to give that back to the taxpayers. So that's the problem. That's what we're concerned about.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to 7B. 7B is the Grand River Health's debt to increase it to $88 million without a clear or sufficient plan to generate the money or market growth needed to pay it down. What do you say?
It's just one more. It says there, without raising taxes. Explain to me how that gets paid then. Please, tell me how that. It would increase Grand River Health's debt by up to $88 million without a path. We don't see where the money's going, how it's going to be paid back, except that they're a special taxing district, so they get to keep raising your property taxes. And I'm sorry, these districts never saw a tax they didn't love. And that is the way it tends to be with people who've been in government any amount of time, whether they are supposedly Democrat or Republican. It's very hard to find people who've been in it any amount of time that don't just go, oh, we need it. Well, what about what we have to do?
Yeah,
which is spend less and do better with the money you have. Why? Where is it? We don't see anything. Where are CMC stats? Please.
Yeah. Send them our way. We'd love to see them.
Tell me how great that is.
So, of course, we think 7B is a no because this is an interesting little clip of what they do. Completing construction in the cervical suite. What do you mean? All the money that you have right now, you haven't finished this? Completing construction. Repurposing vacated space in the existing medical building.
So why do you need more?
I don't know, you guys. It's just... critical thinking is really, cognitive dissonance, I suppose. But at any rate, that's why we say no.
Show us why you need it. Don't just tell me it's for the children. It's what?
And why do they wait until like 4 weeks before the election to bring all this stuff out so we can't dissect it fast enough?
To make you feel stupid and hope you'll vote yes.
Yeah, because you don't have the time.
For years and years.
True.
It's worked well. Again, does this go with 7B?
Okay, well, what is 7C?
The proposed waiver of the property tax limit. Just like we said.
Which means raise it up.
For CMC's expansion would simply add new spending rather than reallocating funds from less productive academic areas.
Okay, but what they're saying is they didn't take full advantage of all of the money that they could have collected, and they want to take full advantage of it now.
Oh, you mean like finishing that cervical unit that they should have done? Oh, yeah. Okay.
With the original, yeah.
So again, it's another special district proposed waiver of the property tax limit, which just means you're a sucker and they're going to keep raising taxes on you.
Yeah. So, you can tell we're into small government. We don't need people to keep taking more money from us constantly. It's tough enough living here.
Without showing what they're doing.
Well, that's true.
It's
I
all smoke
suppose
and mirrors.
yeah.
I've seen all their pie charts and things, and it's just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah. I suppose if they had really good reasons, we'd be more willing to kind of consider.
Now, 7D amounts to a double tax increase. It asks voters to approve a $4.3 million, again, property tax hike for the fire district in 2026 and to add another 1.5% sales tax with no cap, no sunset, no estimate of total revenue. The measure explicitly allows the fire district, to collect, retain, spend all funds raised, and override TABOR. So again, when they call it, oh no, we just overspent. Well, TABOR, which is one of the best laws in the nation, says if you overspend, you have to give back the overspend.
Overcollect, isn't it?
Overcollect. Yes, overcollect. I'm sorry. Overcollect. You have to give the money back to the taxpayer, which is why
Yep.
we get little checks once in a while from the state of Colorado because of TABOR. And here we have another special district. And what I understand is it's for housing.
One of it is, yes.
Part of it. So they're saying it's so hard for housing. Well, they pay their fire guys like $90,000 to $100,000 a year. Guess what? I know this is really rough on people who are used to having it easy. You might have to drive a little to go to work. I know that's rough. And I was very happy the day I no longer had to drive to Aspen because it was miserable. That's part of life. It isn't up to all the other people in the county to make life easier on you because you don't want to have to drive to go to work. And you want to be able to afford $1 million house where you work. Very happy for firefighters. We're real glad they're there when your building burns down. That still doesn't mean this county owes them a house.
Yeah.
No, pay my house.
But the problem
I
with
had
that,
to pay for 30 years. Give me a break.
but the problem with that is what they won't necessarily give these people. They'll let them, as long as they're employed with them. This gives them the money to buy the house. Then they can put their employees in it, and then when the employees don't work there anymore, the employees have to leave. So the revenue, this is what they're talking about when they say the revenue, the funds raised, it's going to be off of the rent. They're going to charge them rent. They're going to, they have to. There's no way that they can't do that. So they'll charge these guys rent. Then this is an asset to the fire district, and they can then use that asset to procure loans, to do whatever they need to do,
More
right?
loans.
So yeah. So it's not what we think it is.
And then there's 7E.
Yep.
This measure has two parts. It proposes a $2.8 million property tax increase, authorizes the fire district to take on $30 million in new debt, with total repayment cost of $61 million. But this it's not a tax increase. I mean, they keep saying that. It's a bond. So they're gonna be able to take out $30 million, and you have to repay it with $61 million. For what? The debt would be repaid using the additional $2.8 million collected annually from taxpayers. Well, don't you feel better about that? If approved, the district would have unlimited authority to levy future property taxes to cover the debt. Oh, they might overspend. Invest collected funds and retain all proceeds. What? There is no cap, no sunset clause, no taxpayer refund, effectively overriding TABOR.
I want to just say, though, that 7D and 7E go together. So think about that. 4.3 plus 2.8 plus 1.5. I mean, come on. This is getting ridiculous. Let me see if I have that information on that tax stuff, because that was pretty.
So again, you need to double down in Doge. That's what needs to happen to these places. Doge. Get down to the details. We're on the edge of non-reality near Aspen, and people just think money just flows like a river around here, and they should just spend it however they want, and it's wrong. Mm-hmm. No, these things aren't supposed to be for some luxury, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, when you're taking other people's money, you need to be bare bones. That's all there is to it. It's wrong. It is wrong. Would you go next door, knock on the door, and say, we should and haven't added up what all those taxes would be on one given person? Would you go over and knock on your neighbor's door, split it all up, knock on each door and say, hey, give me that money. Hey, give me that money.
I don't know. Maybe we should.
I guess it is like a give, send, go, or what is that other one?
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Yeah. Fund me. That's what this is. And it's really a societal issue. Somebody else needs to pay. I can't possibly not get my nails done. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. I have to be able to buy my new 4-wheeler. I'm sorry they're $35,000. But so you need to raise so I can, because I deserve to be able to have fun and live in this great place. And you need to pay for it because I can't afford it. It's wrong.
Yeah, it's an interesting dilemma.
And
for
we
sure.
have children here who can't buy homes here. We understand all these issues. It isn't like we don't.
Yeah, but we
It's
talked
very
about
difficult.
that too a little bit, because with the housing prices, and they put you in, employers will put you in, not employers, I'm sorry, the city governments will put you in deed restricted housing. And that was really where we were going with that. So that's why it threw me off a little bit there. But we were actually talking about that deed restricted thing and how you could buy the home at $500,000, but by the time you pay it off, it's $900,000, and you can only sell it for I forget what we were talking.
3% increase per year.
So you're never gonna. Theoretically, you would sell your house before you paid it off. That would be the wise thing to do, but. A lot of people stay there, and then you sell it, and you're not going to make any money off of that.
And who gets the money though? That's where we were back again. The banks get the money up front. You're paying all the interest that you're supposedly saving by these wonderful people giving you money to put down on a deed restricted home. The bank ends up with the money.
Well, and
you end up a little bit screwed.
We were kind of talking about that when they were going to do this building in Glenwood with the Habitat for Humanity. And those are going to be deed restricted. And people will go in and buy. And one of these young kids that were there, well, young to, grandma and grandma here, but he said, I'm going to buy this, but I could never leave this to my child. Is that what, they can't inherit my home when I die? And they were like, no, they can't.
You need to think these things through. You think it sounds so good in the short term. It's not. It's just the same over and over. It's repeated. It's part of why it's hard to live here. It's because people keep wanting our tax dollars and we keep having to pay more every year. And we're going, it's like turning into a house payment to save enough monthly for your tax
and
payment.
Believe us, we would love to help. I mean, that's not the issue here. It's just, let's do it smart.
On the edge of non-reality, there's a lot of donors, and that's where it needs to go. And they'll get a tax deduction. Good for them. And it takes the burden off the people you say you're trying to help. Right? If all this Aspen stuff is so great because it's the Aspen companies, quite a few of them, that they've said it over and over in these forums we've been to. It's the same reason they want RAFTA expanded, because they want workers to be able to go up valley. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
These RAFTA buses, once in a while you see them full. Most of the time they're not. You need workers. There's plenty of them. Go buy a van and make some capitalism happen at one of our local car dealerships and load your people up and drive them up and down.
Yeah, and some companies do that.
They do, and they need to do more of that.
But
versus, again, going to the taxpayer to pay it.
But you hit the nail on the head when you said the workforce is down. So that's really what this all comes down to, especially 7A. They want to get these moms back in the workforce and get them up valley, because the other thing it says, and we forgot to mention that, was 7A allows you to cross boundaries. Like you could go from Parachute and have your kids in daycare in Aspen. So guess what? Who do you think is going to get a lot of that funding? I just don't see that it's going to really benefit Parachute, Rifle, and Silt and Newcastle. But, I could be wrong.
Who have the most children, and they were pretty condescending with us. They just think you're stupid. And it's just what...
And we were just calling them out.
Because it's been allowed to happen for so long.
And we're calling them out, and we need more voices to help us call them out, because...
We've seen Republicans here, well-known Republicans going, vote for it, vote for it.
Oh, my goodness.
You're like...
And vote for CMC. I'm like, I couldn't believe when I saw that. Because to me, it's like, no, you guys, we can't afford any more tax. I'm done with the tax.
They're already charging tuition. You need to balance
Good
it out.
point.
Fire your financial people. do something. Change who
If
they
they
are.
can't figure
Because
it out,
again,
yeah.
it's like the schools. I've been to plenty of the meetings, and they just flash all these big pie charts and all this information at you like they're doing you this great job. And all the while, they're just scooping it behind their back and paying their friends to do much of the work that should be done in-house.
Well, I guess that's really all we have to say. Is there more that we
Yes.
should add?
Not that I know of. We'd love to hear your feedback.
I mean, we do have, some of these are more area designated, like silt and rifle.
Right.
Again,
tax, silt,
Yeah.
tobacco tax, rifle, lodging tax increase, permanent financing now managed by the HOA obviates need for the district. Colorado River District 6A, another tax. Please don't forget the statewide ballot measures. No on Proposition LL.
Thank you, Robin.
No on Proposition MM.
And you know why? Because they keep, and this is the thing that bothers me, we don't get the word out. The problem is not every child should, parents are home and they can make them breakfast. I mean, why should they have to go to school? We're asking our school districts to be
parents, and that's
chefs.
what they want.
Yeah, parents.
That's what they want.
In a nutshell,
They
parents.
want your children.
It's
They
pretty
want to
bad.
control them, and you parents need to take back control of your children.
And it will over collect, but they won't have to give it back. They can keep it. And that's the
Just
biggest
like
thing
here,
for us.
Prop LL would allow the state to hold on to roughly $12.4 million in excess revenue instead of refunding it. No, that means too many taxes from the people. Give it back.
Oh, and then it says that it's projected $50 million budget shortfall for this year. They already have a shortfall this year of $50 million, that it will potentially run it up to $1 billion by 2039.
It's like, I'm sorry, no. If these children are going hungry, they need to be taken away from their parents. Let's get real. If the parents are that abusive and horrible that they will not feed their children with this abundance of food in our state,
Yeah.
it's absurd.
And then
because
here-
it's not true. And that's why I say that very, I'm sure that jerks people chain to say CPS needs to be called. They don't, because this isn't even true.
Yeah. Well, and then going on to MM.
Prop MM seeks to add $95 million in new annual taxes targeting earners above $300,000. Oh yeah, there you go.
It's gonna cap
Get
there.
those
I doubt
people
it.
To fund expanding SNAP and school meal programs. Again, give me a break. Because of Colorado's SNAP payment error rate. Fire the financial people.
I would be
It's
fired.
a boondoggle. 10%, 9.97. This could amount to 120 to 175 million every year without reform. These financial burdens and inefficiencies, Doge the thing,
Yeah.
would hit taxpayers hard and jeopardize the transparency and accountability mandated by TABOR. Did you know that TABOR was actually formed by 4 women on the Western Slope years ago? And then they tried to get it passed a couple of times, and then they finally turned it over to
Bruce.
Douglas Bruce, who happened to be in the legislature at the time. So he took it and brought it.
And he
for a
got it
vote.
through
And
for them.
Yes. This is another tax hike from a Democrat-led legislature that refuses to live within its means. It's crazy down there.
We do need to call it out for what it is.
You should take the time to watch one legislative session online. You would be appalled at what is happening.
It's
in
a
your
great
state.
learning curve, but it's really important, you guys, that we engage.
Yes,
And we haven't engaged in a long time. I know
Right.
I haven't.
I know.
And so now we're
it's true.
fighting.
And there's some who can, and we understand. There's some who can't. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
when all you can do is
But
work
some
and raise
people-
your kids.
But some people are like they can be researchers, they can be digital warriors,
Yeah.
whatever. And man, we really need that too. So everybody can do something. There's a big difference between nothing and something.
Correct. And I know one thing, again, it kind of upsets people a little bit, but if you can afford Netflix and you can sit at home and watch 2, 3, 4 hours of Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever it is, you can take an hour out once in a while to look at one of these things for yourself, just for you, for your family, to help your children, your future. You can do it, and it's time to dig in and do it. It
Yeah.
just is.
Thank you for listening to us today. We really appreciate you allowing us to give you another perspective on 7A through 7E and LL and MM initiatives. We really want you to participate, understand the other side of things. All we ever hear about is, we should do it. We should do it. And we're trying to tell you that there's more to it than what meets the eye. And so my opinion is no. Vote no on all of them. Robin, where should they go to get more information?
You could go to the link below. Please get involved, whether you vote yes or no. There are other things you need to look at for your particular municipalities as well. And, trustees elections. Look into it and see. Instead of just complaining about how it's run, get involved. That's the way to make change, just like in your own life. Thank you.
Thank you.